Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Thursday, like a little before 5:30. I just got off work right now. Going into the gym, and today is my push A, which is the structure is God, what is it? Four sets of side laterals. Then I go into 3 sets of dumbbell flat press, 2 sets of hammer strength incline, and then 3 sets of pec deck. After that, it is 3 sets of rear delt pulls and 3 sets of unilateral tricep press downs. So pretty straightforward session. Let's start off with a little bit of shoulders, then hammer chest, throwing a little tiny bit of rear delts and a little tiny bit of triceps, and that's the whole session right there. So I'm going to take you guys through that. Not going to film all the sets, probably just film the top sets mostly, maybe a back off set or two there, and then maybe show you my meal afterwards. Not going to guarantee that one though. But yeah, that's going to be the structure for today. I was going to go on another car rant today, but I just feel like when I go on those, I just sound like I'm a hater or I'm complaining. So I'm going to forego that and just get right into the workout. So next time I see you guys, we're going to be hitting some side delts. All right, so for side laterals, this is what I use right here, right now. I was using dumbbells before, and there was an Arsenal machine that I was using before as well, but due to the elbow issues that I've talked about in the previous videos, I use a cuff for now because it basically takes all the torque off of my elbow because I don't have to use any grip strength to move this. So I'm currently on my 3rd set right now. I've already done my first 2. A couple things that I do with this exercise are when I'm using a cable machine, I'm gonna have this, I don't even know what you would call this, but the attachment, I'm gonna have like around knee height. So that way, when I'm getting the stretch on my delt, it's stretching in the place that it needs to be. Whereas if it's all the way on the floor, you're not really gonna get that as much as you are when it's in line with your, where your hand comes down. And then the other cue that I use is I abduct my elbow. So I just try to pull my elbow up to the ceiling, and that really helps me recruit my side delt. Now, I do want to have good form on here, but I'm not super particular about the form. If you look at, all the people over time who have built really great side delts, they all have different variances in their form. So for me, the main part about this movement is feeling my side delt and feeling it work. So my form may not look textbook perfect, but for me, that's how I really feel my side delt. And I'm looking for somewhere in the 10 to 15 rep range here. Another thing with these is I usually go through this exercise pretty quick. Even going to failure on every set, it's not something that's going to require a ton of recovery in between sets. So I go do my left side, 30 seconds, do my right side, and then I just repeat that the whole time. So, I probably get done with 4 sets of side delts in like 12 minutes or something like that. A little, 10 to 12 minutes, and I'm done with side delts. So I have to do my right side right now, then I'll have 1 more set after that, and then it'll be on to heavy dumbbell presses. All right, so I'm going into my first set of heavy dumbbell press. I'm going to use the 125s. My rep range is supposed to be 8 to 12. So we'll see if I land within that. I should be able to land within that. I don't know if all 3 sets will be at 125, but definitely my first set is going to be at 125. Feeling pretty good today. You know, as far as dumbbell press, it's pretty straightforward. There's really not a lot of cues or anything that I go into here besides trying to keep my chest up and lead with my chest. So I dig my traps into the bench. That way my chest is above my shoulders, so when I'm pressing, I'm using my chest. A lot of people will have just a completely flat chest, and you're gonna use a lot of your front delts to be doing your pressing in that manner. The other thing I would point out is the amount of people that are like tap dancing and moving all over, like with the feet, with the legs. You need a stable base if you want to be. This is one thing that like bodybuilders could learn from powerlifters. You need a very stable base to be able to press your best. So when you're pressing, if your feet are moving all over around, or if you're doing that crap where you put your like feet up on the bench and then you're benching, or you're like doing the feet up in the air thing and benching, that's total fucking garbage. Like, you're either trying to build a big chest, or I don't really know what you're doing. You're just you're doing way less weight than you could be doing because you're like trying to train your abs at the same time or something. Anyways, it's just nonsense. But first set's gonna be with the 125s. We'll see how many I get there.
Yep.
Got 12 reps, rep range 8 to 12. So I'm at the top end of the rep range. So what I'm gonna do is just use the 125s again for one more set, see if I can get around 8 to 9 reps. And then my third set will likely be with the 115s. All right, so finished up with my 3 sets of dumbbell pressing. I've already done 1 set here on the hammer strength incline, so this is going to be my second and final set. Now I haven't been running this. I've been running a Cybex incline just because I've been having like this weird pain that comes through my bicep when I push out and lock out. It seems to happen on like the incline machine. So I'm trying this one out, seeing if it's any different. So far it's pretty much the same. So when I run this, I do a pause in the stretch just to make sure that I'm fully controlling the weight, because I can get a little bit aggressive with the loading, and then I start not using my chest in the manner that I want to. So having a pause in that stretch really makes sure that when I'm pushing out of it, I'm using my chest to push out of it. Another thing here with this is you're gonna see that I avoid full lockout, because with hammer strength machines, the strength curve gets drastically heavier, like the closer you are to locking it out, to the point where it's going to take away from your reps so much. Like, it basically, like that last like probably 2 or 3 inches of this movement on the hammer strength, because of the way the strength curve is designed, like it adds like an extra 100 pounds. So it just burns your triceps out like crazy. You don't really get any more chest activation. So if you know, when you see me kind of stopping a little bit short of lockout, that's the reason why. And this is like the 10 to 12 rep range. So that's what I'm hoping to get here. Now, like I said, I haven't ran this too much, so I may be a little bit under that rep range, but we'll see how it goes. So got like 10 and a half, maybe 11, depending on what you count that final rep to be. So that's going to be the final set here. And now I'm going to move into pec deck. All right, so coming into the pec deck here, it's 3 sets in the 12 to 20 rep range. Before I hit this set, I'm going to drink my 20 grams of Gatorade powder as usual. I think I've covered this before with the pec deck, but man, if you are using the whole stack, you better be a fucking IFBB pro winning shows. Otherwise, you have no business using the whole stack. And I cannot tell you how common it is, like at this gym, at other gyms, anywhere I go, to see people who are very small using the entire stack. Just because you can use the entire stack doesn't mean you should be using the entire stack. And on top of that, you're not actually using the entire stack because you're not using your chest to move the weight. When I see those people doing that, it is all front delt, it's biceps, it's forearms, it's literally everything besides the chest. They'll even be using momentum, leaning forward to try and crunch the weight in. So pec deck, this is not like a compound movement, okay? This is a stretch movement where you're just trying to get as much blood flow into the muscle as possible and get the biggest stretch on the muscle possible. So you're usually going to do this either at the beginning of your workout to like activate your chest really well so that you can go into your pressing movements and perform better, or you're going to use it at the end of your workout when you're really pumped up and you're going to be trying to stretch that muscle with all that blood in there. Either way, if you're doing it at the beginning or if you're doing it at the end, you shouldn't be using the whole stack. Unless you are fucking massive, which you'll like 0.001% of people are. So always keep that in mind. This is not an exercise where you're like chasing down the stack. This is an exercise where, you know, in my opinion, you're really just chasing that feel. This is gonna look like an infomercial. I'm gonna hit this and then get 5 extra reps. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a PR for sure. And I usually will do a couple partials at the end of the set like that just to get a little bit extra out of it. Because again, this isn't like a huge compound movement. I'm really just trying to get blood flow in there. So first set, got 2 left. And then after that, we're gonna go on to rear delt. I've been over this one before. It's just rear delt pulls. 3 sets in the 12 to 20 rep range. This is gonna be my last set right here. So I've already done 2 sets, this is my 3rd. All right, so rear delt is done. Move on to unilateral tricep press downs, and that'll end the workout. All right, final movement here, unilateral tricep press down. I really like using this attachment because it puts me in like a nice neutral grip position. I mean, this is as simple as it gets. I'm just using flexion at the elbow, driving down, trying to get a hard contraction, coming up and trying to like get as much of a stretch as I can. And then I'm just gonna repeat that over and over until I can't do it anymore. Rep range here is 12 to 20. So I'm just gonna rotate from side to side until I'm done with all 3 sets, and then that will be end of the workout. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap up the push session here. Nothing crazy in there, just really, really basic stuff. I mean, that's what lifting is, just taking the basics, getting very good at them, make sure you're eating in a surplus, getting good sleep, and repeating that year after year after year after year, and then eventually going through dieting phases where you're stripping back the fat and then just rinsing and repeating. Speaking of taking off the fat, just a little update on my mini cut. I'm not sure if I talked about it in the last video. Oh, I did talk about it, or I said I was going to start it in the last video. I'm like 10 days into it right now, and I'm down about 3.5 pounds. So appetite is definitely starting to come back, which is good. There's been a couple times where I've actually been hungry, which is really good. Let's see, sleep is improved. So again, another good thing there. Strength in the gym, still improving. Maybe I'll touch on this on another video or something, but when you're dieting, your strength should not be going down, especially in the beginning of a diet when you're coming off from like your highest body weight in the off season. Like when your strength starts taking a hit, I mean, you better be like 20 or 30 pounds down from peak weight before you start taking like actual hits to strength. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video or something like that. But overall, very, very good workout for me. The tidy up phase is starting off really good. Everything's clicking. Everything's going well. So looking forward to the next 6 or 7 weeks and then going back into another push phase, the second one of the off season. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up right here, guys. As always, I really, really appreciate you guys watching. I always appreciate the support, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.